Hi! Today we are with Melanie at My Honey's Kitchen, and we are cooking green chili beef enchiladas. And today we're going to actually be using My Honey's Kitchen, the flaming Mexican seasoning. And then we have another option too of just our terrific taco seasoning. So whether you like spicy, do you
I like
those?
spicy.
Wonderful.
My husband likes not spicy.
Well, then what we'll do is we'll compromise. We'll do part of it with the spicy.
Perfect.
And then we'll do the other part with the less spicy.
Yeah.
That way everybody gets what they kind of want.
Perfect.
So first of all, what you're going to do is what I'm going to have you do is start with browning some beef.
Okay.
And then let's throw some. The pan is already hot and ready for you. And I'll let you have that. If you want to do that, let's turn on a light on the subject. And then it has actually like a white sauce that goes in with it.
Delicious.
And so I will start making that. And this is actually one of my new whisks that I'm starting to carry on my website. So we will use that for the first time today. So I'm excited about that. And let me grab, let's see, we need some butter and some flour. And then we're going to use some chicken broth to help with the green sauce. So one of the things I'm terrible about is exact measurements.
Okay.
So these are all approximations. When it comes to a recipe, I'm a real firm believer in making it your own recipe. I have tried this recipe and followed the recipe exactly the first time. Have made it a couple times since then and haven't followed it, so it's never the same recipe.
Right.
But it is my recipe at this point. So we're going to go ahead and we'll melt the butter.
My mom always says the very first time you do a recipe, follow it.
Yes.
And then you make the changes after that.
Exactly, right? Because we all have different tastes,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of, your mom's a smart lady.
Do you salt and pepper your hamburger?
We will in a minute. We're going to brown it first, and then we're going to add the onion to it, and then we'll add our seasonings to it all.
Okay.
So this is where we're going to add the spicier season to this, and then when we make the guacamole, we'll add the less spicy to
Perfect.
that. Okay? So.
My daughter likes spicy. She's only 1.5, and she'll
Nice.
eat whatever.
So she's got a girl after your own heart then,
Yes.
right? Okay, so we're making the roux, and you just want to stir it until it's kind of smooth, as you can see right there. It's kind of like a little paste, and then we're going to add the chicken broth to it. So I'm not going to put it back on the heat until the chicken broth is in there, and then we're going to stir this until it's a little bit thick.
So why is that whisk special? Like, what?
One of the things is
colorful.
Yes, it is very colorful. Is because it doesn't scratch your pans.
Okay.
So these pans, my kids got it for me for Mother's Day, Christmas, I can't remember which one. And so I just use wooden things and coated things just so I don't want to scratch them up. So it helps them last a little bit longer. And a lot of people cook with like Teflon and stuff like that.
Right.
And so when you use metal things in there, it
Takes off the coating.
yeah, exactly. So this helps to not do that. And I also carry wooden spoons and spatulas and so forth, also for help to cook with, so you don't scratch things up. And we can show some of those things in a little bit. How's it coming?
Close.
Okay, perfect. Get that to boil a little bit.
Do you like your hamburger more chunky or smaller?
It's up to you. You're cooking it.
Okay.
How's that?
I like the flavors to be evenly spread, so I like smaller chunks.
Yeah, that's how I do too. One of the things about this recipe that I absolutely love is just full of flavor. I mean, people, a lot of times you get those beef enchiladas that got just the red sauce on it and cheese and so forth. Not that they're bad, but I find them kind of boring.
Yeah.
So when I found this recipe, the first time I tried it, I was a little hesitant because I'm thinking white sauce and beef, you know. But I discovered that it's super full of flavor.
Yeah, 'cause the problem with a lot of Mexican food is you expect flavor and it doesn't have flavor.
Right, exactly. So that's one of the things I love about this recipe. Alright, that's going to take it a minute, so we're going to turn it up a little bit because we want it to come to a boil and thicken a little bit. And then we're going to add all the flavor to it. So, and I will add the less flavor to this also so we can keep the spicy stuff in there. So the spicy stuff that we're going to be adding, the flaming Mexican seasoning, has yes, it has tomatoes powder in it, and then it has all the peppers that are left over at the end of the year from the garden. So I freeze dry everything, and then these are all straight from my garden.
So the tomatoes also from your garden?
Yep.
Nice.
And so there's no, preservatives, there's no any of that kind of nasty stuff in there. And then it's got the good garlic and the cumin and the chili powder and those kind of things in there to give it some oomph.
Do you grow your own garlic?
I do not. I actually have a cousin, however, who is growing garlic, and that they will become my source for my garlic.
Yeah.
They are becoming garlic farmers.
Oh, wow.
So, my mom's family heritage is farming and dairyman. And so it's kind of died a couple generations down the road.
Yeah.
So I have some cousins who are implementing that back into their lifestyle. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm not sure why they chose garlic of all things, but
because it's delicious.
it is wonderful. I'm a fan of garlic.
I always double my garlic in most recipes.
Yep. So, and that's one of the things too, is that most of my spice blends that we have, you can use them just by themselves. But if you're a real garlicky family, you can always add more garlic at that point. But this gives you a good base to not have to have a gajillion different spices in your cupboard. So we're going to actually add more cumin to this today than what's actually in there. So I think you go ahead and go ahead and add your onion, and you can add all or part or whatever your little heart desires.
All of it.
I am an onion fan, so. Alright, and then if you want to go ahead and use the flaming Mexican.
Okay.
And then we're going to split the cumin, there's a little bit of cumin right there, we're going to split that between these two different things. So just however much cumin extra you want to add to it. Oh, we're starting to thicken up over here.
How much of the spice? Just eyeball it?
Eyeball it, however much you think your husband can handle. If you want to put a little bit on your hand and taste it, so you can kind of determine the heat that it's in it. So it has things like habaneros and Anaheims and Serranos, and I think it even might have a few ghost peppers in it.
Yeah,
it's got
pretty
some kick.
zippy.
Yeah, it's got a kick to it. So just remember, we're going to be adding lots of cheese. We're going to be adding a white sauce, so you can.
It's hard to taste it and then add more.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's harder to take it out after you've added it to it, right? All right, we are getting thicker here. It's looking beautiful. All right, we're going to put these in the sink. Put those out of our way. I'm going to grab.
So I have a brother who would probably dump at least an eighth of that in this.
Because he's a guy that's serious.
Oh,
Well, so I grew up in a home that my father, for just a snack, would eat just jalapenos. And so he would always tease me if I couldn't handle what he was eating because it was so hot. So we were flatlanders, is what he would call people who couldn't handle spice. So I learned to handle spice because it was like, okay, I don't want to be the flatlander. My mom used to make beef enchiladas that were so hot there was no flavor.
It was just
It was just
burn.
hot. It was just, it was all burn, and so it took me a long time on my own to discover that you can have a lot of flavor and still have some spice. And so that was kind of a fun discovery. All right, so we just got a little bit of a thick sauce going on here,
That's nice.
and then we are going to dump in some green salsa.
Did you make your own salsa too?
I did not make this, but I'm going to send you home with a bottle of salsa that I did make, green salsa that I did make. And then we're going to add some sour cream to this. And we're going to add all of it. It's probably about 1.5 cups-ish. So I'm not sure this would call this a white sauce. It's more like green chili sauce. But
I
it's very
can't
creamy.
tell because this is initially when I eat the hamburger I can't taste anything, but then the after I
And then
can.
it starts.
So
Let me grab you a spoon, and that way you can get a good flavor, or a good taste of it. I grab a couple up, but you can. So there's that, and I'll taste that, and then I'm going to grab a little bit more cumin for mine. And I'll start flavoring this. And then there's some salt and pepper too, if you want to add some of that to it.
that might be what it's missing.
You can take the lid off. It's bigger salt than the shaker can handle. So I'm more of a dump it in and let's see what we got left later. And then, so I'm gonna add the terrific taco seasoning to this one, just to give it a little bit of a, but it's not, doesn't have much of a kick at all.
So what's in that spice?
This is just pretty much your chili powder, some cumin, some garlic, some onion, and salt. Not much salt. Nope, there's no salt in this one. So, we're gonna bring this to a boil, and then we'll taste this and see what we think. Alright. You wanna try it?
Yep.
It has no kick. So whatever kicks in there, that's where the kick's
Okay.
gonna come from.
This will counter it.
Yes, oh, big time. We could probably actually add a little bit more flavor to it, but
That's really good.
say, that will be so good with that.
Yeah, that's really good.
So we'll bring it to a boil to kind of bring it all together. And I actually might add a little bit of pepper to it, excuse me. Alright, and so now if you want to go ahead and then you're going to add the lime juice. You don't have to add all of it because we're going to put some of that in the guacamole.
Okay.
And then all the cilantro and then all the black beans.
Okay, so about half, you think?
Yeah. That's good.
All the cilantro you said?
Yeah. Alright, that's there. Alright, give this a quick taste.
Yeah, definitely. And add anything you think it needs.
I think it's great.
Okay.
Yep, there's just a tiny bit of hint of spice. Or maybe some more salt.
About like that?
Yeah,
Because I didn't taste
that
it.
looks good. And then if you want to taste that again, I think we're ready to start putting together.
Okay.
I'm going to put this over here. So one of the things I discovered about aprons, and actually when I looked on them, their old days, women used to like have their handkerchiefs hanging on them. They used them to wipe their hands. They would wipe their babies' faces. So aprons were like for everything. So I love to cook with the aprons now just because they're kind of fun and it's kind of nostalgic.
I always wear an apron.
I
And
say-
I do. I wipe my hands.
Yeah. So pretty soon you go, oh, yeah. I actually every once in a while I find out that my apron's like soaking wet because it's like you know you do this all the time or. So, do you think we're there? All right. So let's go ahead and grab some hot pads. We'll put some hot pans on the counter and then let's start putting this together.
I might have made that too spicy for my husband.
Uh-oh.
But I think it'll be fine once we add the sauces and the other things.
Yeah, and the cheese. I mean, cheese is going to help
Yeah.
us. So, I got us 2 pans. And there's our cheese. And I'm a fan of Monterey Jack and Colby together when it comes to the cheeses that I like to make Mexican. So, let's first do this.
Okay, just keep this over here.
Yeah, and then let's see here. We'll grab us a couple of spoons that we can. All we're gonna do is just grab our let's see here. I meant to have this all out. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you're just gonna take a tortilla, fill it up, and throw a little bit of cheese on the inside. Roll it,
Okay.
and you do that on that side. I'll do this on this side. And we'll make us some pans of tortillas. I mean, some enchiladas.
I'm excited.
The nice thing about this is also let's say you have a really busy week ahead of you. This is really fast and easy to make, and it freezes really well.
Do you freeze it raw or after you've cooked them?
I would just put this and then just put them in there before you bake them.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it's really super fast.
And I like to, when I freeze things, I write the temperature and the time on top, so I
Yeah.
don't have to relook at the recipe.
Yep, exactly. That's a really good idea. Yeah, sometimes, especially the moms who have to work full-time jobs and stuff, it's just such a hassle to come home and make a good meal for your family, and so you're tired from work, and kids need attention and homework, and so if you can just come home and throw something in the oven and then do everything else, you know?
Yeah. Well, or if you're making a meal for somebody,
Exactly.
it's really easy for them to put it in when they
need it or want it, or
yep.
Because sometimes people, especially like when somebody's had a new baby and whatnot, and people like help out with meals and stuff, sometimes they get a lot of meals.
Right.
So it's always nice. That's one of the things I always try to do is make sure that they're meals that they can freeze. So I think we should about end up with 5 in there. Are you able to get that in there?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's gonna be my 5th one.
You don't want it too tight in there. Let's see. I think there's enough in there if you want to try and squeeze one more in there.
Okay. We like leftovers at our house.
We do too. I say we eat lots, and actually, if I have too many leftovers, I actually use them in my freeze dryer. So it's wonderful.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try it. That way I can use it all up.
Yeah, just finish it off.
All right. All right. Put that in the sink.
What brand of tortilla is this? They're very soft.
I think they're Dawn's.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the fact that they're soft, but they're thick. You know, they're not the really cheap.
Yeah, because usually I have to microwave my tortillas to soften them enough to roll them.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, these are really good that way. Okay, so now let's get us some sauce on this. Let's see here. In that drawer, there should be a ladle or a big spoon that we can. Or not. Well, then let's just find one.
There's a spoon.
Okay, let's do that.
Ladle.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay, give it a stir. All right, I'll let you go ahead and pour whatever you want on there, and then we'll go whatever's left over. We'll kind of make sure that it goes down the sides so that everything's well covered. And
Oops. I just totally dumped the pot in.
I'm going to throw a little bit more here. All right. Looks like we can use a little bit more over here maybe. Get you. Well, here, I'll let you go ahead and go around the edges and let it go down the sides a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw this one in the oven so that it can be done before you leave, and then we're going to make some guacamole really quick so we can serve it with guacamole. Alright, so I'm going to throw some cheese on top. I'm a cheese fan, so...
A lot of my recipes just say lots of cheese.
Yes, absolutely. And if it says a cup, you just add the extra cheese because, you know. Alright, we're going to put this one in the oven for us. And it's going to be in the oven for about 350 for maybe a half hour. Alright. So I'll let you go ahead and do that. Kind of clean up a little bit. And we're grabbing my knife for that.
So these are sold online, all your spices.
All of my spices are sold online. And I also have, you can also, if you have an allergy, like garlic or onion, I can make spices for you that to accommodate. Yep.
Perfect.
And then also, I actually had a customer who asked me so I have an onion spice that's really, really good. And they asked me if I had a garlic spice like it, and I didn't yet, but I do now. It's just not in bottles, but I will still, so if you have an idea, or you want me to try something, or you are going, man, this is a great idea, but I don't know how to put it together, I'm so excited to be able to put it together for people. So let me know if, people can let me know if they want something special. And we can go from there.
Do you just do online orders, or somebody's local, can they come and
Absolutely.
pick it up straight from you?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can totally come to my house and get it, or I will even deliver it if they're local.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so cool.
Do you have any, I know some places local have a discount if you bring your own jar.
Oh, if you brought your own jar, yeah, I would actually probably give you about a 20% discount.
Okay.
So yeah, because that's probably the biggest expense is the jar.
Right.
Just saying.
Especially because they're really fun jars with the seal on the.
So yeah, let's put some cheese on that, and then let's put together some guacamole. Now, guacamole is super versatile, I've discovered. It makes great 7-layer dip, which is one of the videos we have downloaded already. It's a great side. It's a great dip. It's a great,
Yeah, party.
yeah. I mean, my mom said that when she passes away, the only thing she wants is to make sure we have pork street tacos, shredded pork tacos, and guacamole. And I thought, easy, I can do that.
Yes.
So, all right, so let's. Okay, so I will cut and then so if you just, that's a really
Yep.
quick, easy way to. We'll put that on the counter. And then if you want to take this cute little tool and it just scoops them out.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'll let you do that and I'll keep cutting and getting some.
Nice, perfect slices.
I say, right? So if you want
Yeah.
sliced on your, something sliced on your sandwich, oh my gosh, it's like the easiest thing in the whole world.
Well, my daughter likes to sit at the counter on a stool and just eat plain avocado. So I'll scoop it out and then I'll chop it up and use this as an avocado bowl.
Nice.
So she just eats right out of the.
Right out of it. So we like to take avocados like this and cut them in half and then fill it full of salsa. And then sometimes that's just a meal all by itself. You can't go wrong with an avocado. I have a good friend who's actually allergic to avocados and it breaks my heart for me every time I make something.
Something delicious that they can't eat.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's so sad. All right.
Is this also a tool you sell on your site?
It is not yet, but it will be soon.
As
I'm going to try and see if I can find a source for it. Because kitchen gadgets are the funnest things in the kitchen. The more fun gadgets you have, the funner you can have. So now this is the cool thing. Turn it over
and
and smash. So because we have we're going to add a little bit of kick, not a ton though. So we just do this. Well, maybe not all of it. Because I don't want to scare your husband. So, and then we'll just throw in the rest of this. So we're going to have both flavors in there. This has more chili powder and cumin, so that kind of counteracts that. While you're mashing, we're going to add some cilantro to it. And let's throw some onions, probably not a ton of onions. And then the lime juice that's right behind you, let's throw that in. And the salt. Whoop. That's probably a little salty. Okay, so we'll go there. And then we'll just stir these in. And you should be set with guacamole. I'm going to grab you a spoon and you can give it a taste and see what we got. Now, sometimes you can add sour cream to it too if you wanted a creamier taste or taste to it, flavor to it.
Yeah. That's good. It still has a freshness to it.
Yeah.
Without being.
So, okay, so there we are. Now we're just going to wait for about 20 minutes and then the rest of our meal will be ready.
Fantastic.
Alrighty.